This is the story of Adolf Hitler. It is a story about dreams, family, pain, and the choices we make. Today, we will learn English by following his life, from the time he was just a little boy with big hopes. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889, in a small town in Austria called Braunau am Inn. The town was quiet and peaceful, with small houses and green hills. His parents were named Alois and Clara Hitler. Adolf was their son. His father, Alois, was a strict and serious man. He worked for the government and wanted Adolf to do the same. He believed in rules, in control, and in order. He wanted his son to be strong and responsible, but Adolf was different. He had a big imagination. He loved to draw and create. He did not dream of becoming a government worker. He wanted to be an artist. At home, Adolf often felt scared of his father. When he said he wanted to go to art school, his father became angry. "Art is not a real job," his father said. "You must have a serious job." Adolf stayed quiet, but he felt sad inside. He didn't want to fight. He just wanted to follow his dream. His mother, Clara, was kind and gentle. She loved Adolf very much. She always listened to him and supported him. When his father was angry, Clara gave him comfort. She made him feel safe. Adolf loved his mother deeply. She was the only person who truly understood him. When Adolf was 13 years old, his father died suddenly. Some people thought this would make Adolf happy. Now he could follow his dream, right? But no, he felt a deep emptiness in his heart. Even though his father was strict, losing him made Adolf feel alone. He missed having a father. His heart became heavy with sadness. After that, his school life changed. He no longer wanted to study. Before, he was a smart and curious boy. But now, he lost interest. Teachers said, "He has talent, but he doesn't try." He stopped caring about school and started drawing all the time. Drawing became his way to escape the world. As he grew older, Adolf decided to leave his small town and go to Vienna, the capital of Austria. Vienna was a big and beautiful city. It was known for music, art, and culture. Adolf was excited. He believed that this city would help him become a famous painter. He dreamed of seeing his paintings in galleries. He applied to the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. It was a famous school for artists. Adolf waited for the results with great hope, but when the letter came, it said he was not accepted. They said his drawings were not good enough. Adolf felt heartbroken. He did not give up. The next year, he applied again. This time, he worked even harder, but once again, he was rejected. 2 years in a row, the art school said no. Adolf felt lost. His dream was broken. His hope turned into pain. Now he had no school and no job. Life in Vienna became very hard. He lived in tiny cold rooms. Sometimes he had no food to eat. Sometimes he slept in shelters or on the street. To survive, he painted postcards and sold them to tourists. It was not enough, but he kept going. Then, something even worse happened. His mother, Clara, became very sick. She had always been the one who loved him most. She was his light in the dark. Adolf stayed with her. He cared for her. He held her hand, but she did not get better. One day, she passed away. Adolf was completely alone. He had no family, no job, and no place to call home. He felt angry at the world. He felt that life was unfair. He started to blame others for his sadness. He kept drawing, but now his art was darker. His heart was full of pain and questions. Why did this happen to me? Why is life so hard? These questions stayed with him for a long time. They shaped his thoughts and his future. This was the beginning of a very different journey, one that would change not only his life, but the world. Adolf Hitler had lost many things. His dream of becoming an artist was gone. His mother had died. He was poor, hungry, and alone in Vienna. Every day felt hard. He had no clear path. He needed something to give his life meaning. In 1914, something big happened. World War I began. Countries in Europe were going to war. Adolf saw this as a new chance. He felt excited. He thought, maybe I can be useful now. He moved to Germany and joined the German army. For the first time, Adolf felt like he was part of something important. He wore a uniform. He had a role. He was not just a poor man anymore, he was a soldier. He worked as a messenger, running across dangerous battlefields to deliver news. It was a very risky job, but Adolf was brave. He did his work with great care and never gave up. He received medals for his courage. Life in the army gave Adolf something he had never felt before: purpose. He believed in Germany. He believed they could win. He loved being a soldier. He made friends. He followed orders. He felt proud. But in 1918, the war ended. Germany lost. This loss was painful for Adolf. It shocked him deeply. He thought the leaders of Germany had made weak decisions. He believed the country had been betrayed. We didn't lose because we were weak, he thought. We lost because our leaders failed us. Adolf returned to a broken Germany. The streets were full of angry people. There was not enough food. There were no jobs. Money had lost its value. The country was full of sadness and blame. Everyone was looking for answers. Adolf was angry too. But more than that, he was looking for a new way to be important again. He heard about a small political group in Munich called the German Workers' Party. He went to one of their meetings and listened. They were talking about the problems in Germany. Adolf felt something inside him wake up. He stood up and spoke. His words were loud and strong. He talked with passion. He blamed Germany's problems on weak leaders and foreign groups. People listened. They were surprised. They clapped. They wanted more. Very soon, Adolf joined the party. He didn't just sit in the back. He began to lead. He gave more speeches. He talked in beer halls, on the streets, and at big events. He had found a new talent, speaking to the crowd. When he talked, people felt angry, but also hopeful. They believed in his promise. Germany will rise again. Adolf began changing the party. He gave it a new name, the National Socialist German Workers' Party. People started calling it the Nazi Party. He helped design their new symbol, a red flag with a black swastika. This symbol became powerful. People wore it. They marched with it. It was everywhere. Adolf knew that images had power. He understood that people believed in symbols. So he used posters, songs, and flags to grow his movement. He told people that Germany could be great again, but only if they followed him. In 1923, Adolf and his followers tried to take over the government by force. It was a bold and dangerous plan. They believed they could change everything overnight, but the plan failed. Police stopped them. Adolf was arrested and sent to jail. In prison, Adolf had time to think. He started writing a book. He called it Mein Kampf, which means My Struggle. In this book, he wrote about his ideas. He said that Germany must become strong again. He also said that some people were enemies of the country. His words were full of anger, but also a clear plan. After 9 months, Adolf was released from prison. He was not the same. He had become more focused. He now had a message, a party, a symbol, and a book. He was ready to grow his movement again. The soldier who once had no future now believed he could lead a nation. His voice was powerful. His ideas were dangerous. But to many people in a broken Germany, he gave them something they had lost: the feeling of hope. After Adolf Hitler left prison, he began to rebuild his power. Many people in Germany were still angry. They had no jobs. Their money had little value. They felt lost. Adolf gave them something they wanted someone to follow. He gave them speeches filled with energy and promises. He said, Germany will be strong again. His words gave hope, but also brought fear. In 1933, Adolf Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. This was the most powerful political position in the country. Many people were happy. They believed he could fix the problems. He promised more jobs, better roads, stronger military, and a bright future. For a while, things started to change. New factories opened, roads and schools were built, the army grew. People began to smile again. But behind this success, Adolf was changing the country in dangerous ways. He took control of newspapers, radios, and schools. He told people what to think. He said, "You must believe in me." If someone spoke against him, they were punished or sent to prison. People were afraid to speak freely. Fear lived in their hearts. Adolf wanted everyone to think the same. He made a group called the Hitler Youth to teach young boys to follow his ideas. He built a strong army and used a special group called the SS to control people. Everywhere, you could see the Nazi flag. The red flag with the black swastika became a symbol of power. But this power was used to hurt, not to help. In 1939, Adolf made a big decision. He ordered the German army to invade Poland. This started World War II. At first, the German army won many battles. They were fast and strong. Adolf felt proud. He wanted to rule all of Europe. He believed Germany was better than other countries. He thought some people did not belong in his perfect Germany. While the war was happening, Adolf started something very cruel. He wanted to remove all Jewish people and other groups he didn't accept. He believed they were the reason for Germany's problems. This became known as the Holocaust. Millions of innocent people were taken from their homes. They were put in camps and killed. It was one of the darkest times in human history. By 1944, the war had turned against Germany. Countries like the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union were fighting back. German cities were bombed. The people who once called Hitler a hero were now scared and angry. They began to question him. Why did we trust him? They asked. Adolf became afraid. He stayed in a bunker under the city of Berlin. He trusted no one. The sound of bombs grew louder every day. The Soviet army was coming. The war was almost over. But Adolf refused to give up. He said, "We will not surrender." Deep inside, he knew everything was falling apart. On April 29, 1945, Adolf married his longtime companion, Eva Braun. They held a small wedding inside the bunker. It was quiet and sad. The next day, April 30th, Adolf and Eva took their own lives. They did not want to be captured. The war in Europe ended soon after, on May 8, 1945. Germany was left in ruins. Cities were destroyed. Millions of people had died. The dream that Adolf promised had turned into pain. People around the world were shocked. They asked, "How did this happen?" Adolf Hitler's story is not just about one man. It is about how anger, hate, and fear can grow when people feel lost. It is about how one voice, if used in the wrong way, can hurt millions. But there is also a lesson. We all make choices. Our actions can help or harm. We must choose wisely. Today, we remember this history so we don't repeat it. We learn to stand up for what is right. We choose love over hate, kindness over anger, and unity over division. That is how we make a better future for everyone. Now that we have reached the end of this story, let's take a moment to remember the journey we just traveled. Adolf Hitler started as a small boy with big dreams. He wanted to be an artist. He loved to draw, but his dreams were crushed. He was rejected, alone, and full of pain. Then, he became a soldier. For a short time, he felt proud and useful. But when Germany lost the war, his pain returned. He felt angry and betrayed. Then he found power. He became a leader. At first, many people believed in him. They were poor and sad. They wanted hope. But Adolf used their pain to spread hate. He blamed others for the problems. He controlled people with fear. He started a war. He hurt millions of innocent people. And in the end, everything fell apart. He died in fear, and the country he said he loved was left in ruins. So, what can we learn from this? This story teaches us that our thoughts become our actions, and our actions have great power. Adolf's story shows what happens when someone chooses hate over kindness, control over freedom, and lies over truth. It teaches us that one voice can change the world, for good or for bad. In today's world, we must be careful. We must think before we speak. We must listen, help each other, and choose peace. We must learn from history so we don't repeat it. No one is perfect. But each of us can make better choices, starting now. If you're still listening, congratulations! You have just improved your English listening skills by learning from a powerful, emotional story. You learn new words, practice understanding, and explore deep human history. That's not easy, and you did it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to support us. We work hard to bring you real, emotional stories that help you learn English in a meaningful way. Every like, comment, and subscription gives us motivation to continue. If you believe in what we do and want to support us further, consider donating. In the beginning, making good content takes a lot of time and effort. But we do this for free because we care about your learning journey. Thank you for being here. See you in the next story.